What's up, y'all? We're back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. Y'all know me. I'm your girl, Amanda. And this is a post Thanksgiving episode. Before I begin, I want to wish everybody a happy belated Thanksgiving, even though Thanksgiving was 2 weeks ago. And this is y'all's warning. Please, if you have leftovers in your refrigerator, throw them away. I think we should all follow the rules applies when it's Wednesday, hospital, Thursday, dead. I think we're past this point. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Today is December 1st. We are 24 days away from Christmas, over 3 weeks away. And I just wanted to get an episode in because, of course, I miss you guys so much. Before I begin, I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in into the podcast. The last episode did bring in some big numbers. I truly appreciate you all. Shout out to everybody in the US listening. Shout out to everybody in Europe listening. And shout out to the 1% I have in Macedonia. I don't forget you. Don't worry. But let's get into it. So, like I said before, it's post Thanksgiving, but pre Christmas. And honestly, this is the best time of the year. We're wrapping up everything from our experiences for this year. I've had a pretty great year so far. I traveled and I've been able to, start being more of a content creator. So, my New Year goal this year or 2023 is I'm going to focus more on my YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can look me up on YouTube, Amanda Marie Thompson. You can subscribe. Right now, all I'm posting is just recordings of the podcast. If you do not have Apple Music, if you don't have, Spotify, or you just want me to give me views or anything like that, you can look me up on there. Some people have been asking me, why isn't all of the episodes on YouTube? It's because the upload factor that I use to upload the episodes to YouTube, if it's over an hour, I cannot post it. So therefore, I would have to leave it on the other platforms. And you know what's weird, you guys? So I had a cold about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And as you can tell, I still have a little bit in my nose. But it's mostly blood, but we'll get into that later if you want to hear it. I'm just kidding. So I had a cold, and it's weird because everyone else was getting sick. A lot of people was getting sick. And now they're saying it's rumored it's a new COVID variant. It's the influenza A and all that stuff, which was weird for me because I kept taking the home COVID test my family and I had. It was negative, but the thing was is that I couldn't really taste my food or smell. Well, it wasn't like it was gone completely. It was more like it was delayed. So, say I'm eating something, right? I'm eating a chicken wing from Buffalo Wild Wings with garlic parm, my favorite. And I'm chewing it, I don't taste anything. And right before I swallow, I can taste the parm a little bit. So it was like that, very tough, very hard to shake, but I did eventually get over it. I don't get sick like that mainly because I don't like to be around people, and sometimes people cough and don't cover their mouth, and it's just like, oh, stay away from me. I love you, but no. So yeah, a lot of people been getting sick. I just hope it's not another COVID variant. I just can't take none of that. But no worries, guys. I am going to get a flu shot and the latest booster shot next week when I go to the doctor. So, but other than that, I am doing very, very well. Spent Thanksgiving at my grandmother's house. Spent with my immediate family. We had a great time. But I just couldn't stop to think what I was going to talk about on this podcast. Now, last podcast I put out was probably around early November, probably around Halloween time. Man, it's some crazy shit going on, y'all. So I'm about to get into it right now. So did y'all hear about the Good Morning America affair? So TJ Holmes is messing with that one lady. I forgot her name, and I'm not gonna look it up because I don't want to. But they're messing around with each other, and isn't that weird? And they're like on TV together. Like, I didn't they always teach you not to mess with your coworkers? Cause like, you know, it always don't end good. And it won't end good for them because, they're on TV. And like millions of people watch them every morning when they're drinking their coffee. Now, see, I can't watch Good Morning America because I'm already down at the office and just doing my thing. So I don't really see it. But on the Daily Mail, they put a clip on them on TV, I guess from this morning, and they were just so awkward. And that's what coworkers who mess around do. They just so awkward around each other, and people know what's up automatically. Now, will they fire them for something like this? You got to think about it. It's show business. See, talk shows are very part of show business, and that's a scandal because actually both anchors are married. So of course it's a scandal, it's a scandal because they're messing around and married. They're married, but then let's think about it this way: what if they're both separated from their partners? Did we not stop to think about that? What if they're both separated from their partners? They just so happen to separate from their partners at the same time. All right, okay, all right. So don't think like that. But if they weren't, well, no. Let's say this. I also read somewhere that the lady's husband erased all photos of her off his Instagram. Now, everybody in my age range know when you first put your partner, your boo thing, your little yeah on Instagram, social media, that's legit. Your situation, your relationship is legit. But when it's taken off, oh, that's trouble in paradise. Because I've had to do it a time or two, trust me. But should they get fired? I'm going to go back to this question. Should they be fired? Mm, yes and no. But you know what? I want to see how this plays out. Because in today's world, we could look at one scandalous thing and then we'll forget about it next week. So, if they still at their jobs next week when we watch Good Morning America, yeah, well, they'll be all right. Oh, we probably forgot about it. Um, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have settled their divorce, and I don't know what the problem is with people on the internet. They say 200,000 is too much. What do I think? Well, this is my podcast. I'm gonna give my opinion. If you don't like it, you can shut it off. So let's break it down, shall we? 200,000 for child support for each child for all four children. It is 4 children, ladies and gentlemen. They're all under the age of 10 years old. Northwest, I know, is probably going to be 10 very soon because I remember when Kim had her, I had just graduated high school. So I remember the day seeing that Northwest was born. So Northwest, St. Psalm, in Chicago. They're 4 kids. Also, Kanye has to pay half of everything regarding to the child's security, school tuition, healthcare, blah, blah, blah. So my question to the people who have something to complain about, isn't that what child support is supposed to do? Ain't it what that is for? Like, my parents split up before I was born, and I was a child support baby. And yes, my mother had reminded me almost all the time when she was getting child support, after the child support was done. I'm 27 years old now. She still tells me this, that the child support that she received for me and my brother, but my brother aged out before I did, for me, mostly, because very important we're talking about me, it went towards everything I had going on. I had went to private school for middle school and high school. I had braces, sports, all this stuff. So it's Kim and Kanye. So 200,000 is chump change to Kanye, or to them, that tax bracket. Because me, 200,000 is like, damn, what are they getting? But once I heard what the breakdown of what it was for, it makes perfect sense. Those children, they're very busy children. I mean, North is in sports. The little ones might be in, karate and all this stuff. So it's a perfect amount of money for them. And also, I read somewhere that Kim waived spousal support, which makes sense because she's Kim Kardashian. She's got Skims and that skincare and all that stuff. She don't need that man money. But Kanye, we're gonna get to you towards the end of the podcast. Don't worry, we gonna get to Kanye at the end. I also want to shout out to Snoop Dogg's daughter, Corey Broadus. Congratulations to her. She announced she is engaged to her longtime boyfriend. His name is Wayne Deuce. Wayne Deuce. I never heard of him, and I don't mean it in a mean way. I just never seen him before or anything. But people were kind of mean to her on the internet with their nasty comments, and she's a beautiful woman, guys. Like, why are you so ignorant and nasty? And some of y'all weren't raised right. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. And also Howard Stern and Oprah. This story kind of, yeah. Howard Stern went on air, I believe, somewhere, probably his show. I wasn't sure, but he said that Oprah flaunts her wealth and basically he doesn't like it. Okay, let me break this down to the way I think it is. Oprah flaunting her wealth. Okay, sometimes people do think, oh my God, there's, starving poverty and all this stuff. You gotta understand also that Oprah came from the same situation in Cusco, somewhere in Mississippi. She was dirt poor, guys. Dirt poor. And she went to go live with her father up in Milwaukee, and they weren't the richest. So Oprah worked hard for what she has. Like, dude, I remember when Oprah first came to, no, I wasn't born, but I know the impact Oprah made on the city of Chicago. Like, she still has her condo in that big black building on Lakeshore Drive. Like, she's brought money into the city. But I'm saying that because Oprah worked hard. Oprah went from a local TV show to a syndicated TV show. Oprah went from being the only black woman on Good AM Chicago or whatever that show was called. Oprah wrote books, has magazines, all this stuff. Oprah came from nothing and now she has everything, and let that black woman celebrate what she has, Howard. I understand, you get mad because, oh my God, people on social media flaunting and just, but it's at the same time as Oprah, and she didn't come from nothing. And she wants to show little black girls like me and my friends that, if you work hard, you can have this. As cheesy as it sounds, that's what she's showing us, and I see it all the time. Now, I don't follow Oprah like that. I'm not the biggest Oprah fan, but I'm starting to see that too as I get older. Howard Stern, shame on you because you did not do the research of her background. If you're from Mississippi and you don't have money, because people say Mississippi is the poorest state, that is true. But there are people there who are like, have a, oh shoot, how should I say this? There are people out there who owns land and has a decent amount of money, but unfortunately, Oprah was not one of them growing up, being born down there. So let her have her shine, Howard. Okay, let her have her shine. I don't understand it, Howard Stern. I did not think Howard Stern was born into privilege, wasn't he? Or no, he wasn't born. He was born up north in New York somewhere, so probably he has a different, sight to things. Also, I want to briefly touch on Natasha Scott's husband's mistress. She claims that she is pregnant by the man, but someone says she's lying. And I know stories like this always end with someone lying, So I'm probably not going to get into that one. I'll pass on that. But here's something I do want to get into. Shout out to Frontier. They're having $599. It's a pass for unlimited flights, I guess, for a year. Now, this does seem like a good idea, okay? But there's always a but in situations like this, right? But it's Frontier, one. And two, probably a couple weeks after this story came out, a follow up story came out stating that Frontier will not have live customer service agents on the phone. And my opinion of this story goes different ways, okay? So they take away the customer service on the phone or whatever, right? So how do you reach out to them if you need help? Probably Twitter. Let me explain. So a couple days ago, I like to, bullshit around, look for like flights and stuff. I ain't going nowhere anytime soon, but I just like to see how much flights are and stuff. And I wanted to see how much a flight from here in Chicago would be to the West Coast. Now, I don't fly with Frontier, you guys. I actually fly with Southwest. I have their app. I'm a points member, everything. So it was probably 11 o'clock at night, and I'm not going to call customer service just to bug them because I can't get into my account. So I went on Southwest Airlines Twitter help account and I said, hey, can you help me out with something? Someone got to me within the next 20 minutes. We rectified the situation through DM on Twitter. Boom, I'm back in my account and I'm looking up flights in peace. So that's what they're probably going to lean towards. But then that wouldn't be a good idea because some people don't have social media. Some people are not social media savvy. You have to think about people like Grandpa Harold, which I don't have a Grandpa Harold. I'm just throwing a name out of my butt. Grandpa Harold, who's 86 years old, he has this pass because he wants to fly to Texas to see his grandkids. And, he doesn't have a smartphone or anything. Um, Grandpa Harold has to call somebody to help him or book this flight for him if his family can't help it and do it for him. So it makes sense for people who love to travel, love to see family, has family all over the country. But you guys aren't thinking about the older people, and that what will make this situation fail. Also, Frontier is not the number one flight airline, but I honestly don't see this going very far because of the customer service situation. Because things happen on airplanes. You could be at the airport, something happened, you need to call customer service. Well, you're flying Frontier on this $599 pass, and you can't get in contact with nobody, and the front desk lady is barely any help. So they can try this if they want to, but I don't see it going far. But this is a part of what company does. They test products, they test services, and if it doesn't work, they take it away. So Frontier, best of luck to you, okay? Okay. Shout out to Jennifer Lopez. So Jennifer Lopez is putting out a new album, and she's doing something to me is special with this album. So she's making the album. It's called This Is Me Now. If you guys don't remember, back in 2002, 20 years ago, she made an album called This Is Me Then. And at the time, she was engaged or dating Ben Affleck. And you guys remember the Jenny from the Block video? Ben Affleck was in it and all that stuff. So, as we know, they broke up. And Jennifer Lopez said in a recent interview that she thought she wasn't, the world was over when she broke up with Ben. And, with her other marriages, she never really said something like that I know of. So I think that this album, This Is Me Now, is going to be very, you know, lovey, cakey, just giddy. I'm happy because she seems very happy with Ben Affleck, and you see them on TikTok, and they all booed up, and Ben is taking the kids to McDonald's and all that stuff. So I think this is going to be a very upbeat, no depressing songs. I mean, not that I know of, because I only truly know one Jennifer Lopez song album front to back, which is J to the Low, which came out a year before that. And I think at the time she was with Diddy, and she never really commented on any other relationships. Even when she got a divorce from Mark Anthony, I don't. Well, no. Okay, let me take that back because there was a documentary I watched on Jennifer Lopez, not the one that was on Netflix, but it was another one. It probably was on like HBO or something. And this was around the time that her and Mark Anthony were getting ready to get a divorce. And you could see her kind of in the dumps about it and stuff. But she never really commented it on an interview had we not seen that documentary. But I just hope it is because, she's in a good place. She's got her blended family. They got their house and cars and all that stuff. So good luck to them. Also, shout out to Portia Williams and Simon Gobadia. They just got married. They had two weddings because I guess African tradition, you have to have the African tradition wedding. And then she had her wedding, I guess for her, beliefs and stuff. The wedding dress, it was beautiful. It was very elegant, borderline over the top, but elegant. It was a long red dress, and I know I saw some photos. Simon had on like a Prince Harry type uniform on, and they looked great. And congratulations to them. They look in love. Now the reason why I say this is I don't know them people, but they do look in love. So congratulations to them. And some serious news. My thoughts go out to the victims. This country has experienced two shootings. Now, it seems like every time I come on this podcast, we just recover from a shooting, and I want to just point my finger. I want to point my finger back to the politicians and what we need to do to change the laws and blah blah blah, and that if you have not, and I've always spoke about this, go to YouTube and look up the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. There is a video, and I'm probably going to repeat this many a times, because unfortunately this country needs to do something about the gun laws. There is a 6 hour long coverage of from the time Kennedy gets shot at Renaissance Hotel in Los Angeles to the time he's taken to the hospital and he dies. There is a part in there that said, and this is in 1968, we need to do something with these gun laws. And I'm paraphrasing because I've seen it so many times. I just, for some reason, I don't remember what he said exactly, but we need to do something about this gun laws. And we've been saying this since 1968. Now, the first shooting was the shooting at Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, which was basically by a disgruntled employee. And the second shooting that we are mourning here in America is the Colorado Springs shooting, which I honestly think was done by someone homophobic because it was done in a gay nightclub. It was something I think I it I don't I just why would you go and shoot, someone having a good time in a nightclub and just I'm gonna say it again, probably gonna say it, I don't know, until they get it right. Is something just needs to be done with these gun laws. And also, I have a question about the Walmart shooting. Do they have security present there? Like I know I some Walmarts do have security, but did they have security present at that Walmart when that was going down? I just, just it's just shocking and sad and everything, but Congress, if you're listening, I know you are, and I know you pay attention to this, and you see how guns are affecting our everyday lives. We're making it's like people talk and they go down the list. We can't go to school because we have school shootings. Can't go to concerts because you guys remember what happened in Vegas when they had that big music convention and there was a massive shooting there. You can't go to the club because they shoot there. So it's like, what needs to be done for Congress to truly wake up and just do something, just do something. So let's take a break because I this is kind of heavy for me. So let's take a break, commercial break. So, as I stated before on this podcast, the Michael Jackson estate was going to release Thriller 40 in honor of the 40th anniversary of Thriller. Well, the album was released about a week or so ago, and basically I was right. So what they did, I was right. Like, what they did was they basically had the original song list, and then they added on like the remixes and the club extended and this person's remix and that person's remix. And they added on remastered versions of demos that could be found on YouTube. As a super Michael Jackson fan, I've heard probably every demo ever on YouTube, and some of the songs I did recognize when they put it on there, and yeah, that's what they did. Um, so I don't know if you guys remember, probably back in like 2013, 14, 2011, somewhere in that time frame in the 2010s, the Michael Jackson estate had signed a like obligatory like contract to release six, I want to say 5 to 7 unreleased Michael Jackson albums. So with Thriller 40, this could be album number 4 or 5. Um, as you guys know, they kind of stopped putting music out for some years because of Finding Neverland and all that stuff. So there are 2 more albums, presumably, that needs to be released to fulfill the obligation. I think they should do something to celebrate Michael's 90s and 2000s music because honestly, to me, I feel like people are overlooking Invincible. I feel like people are overlooking History. That is a great album because he worked with a lot of popular hip hop producers, as well as Dangerous. Because when Dangerous was out, he worked with Heavy D. He worked with Teddy Riley. But what I didn't know until I found this out watching Dallas Austin on the 85 South show last year, he worked on the album, the History album. And Biggie was on the History album and all that stuff. So I turned 30. I'm the same age as the History album. I turned 30 in 2025. So I think in 2025, that could probably fulfill the obligation for this contract the estate did. They should release like something for History, or they can release something for History and Invincible together, even though those albums were released 6 years apart. And a lot of people do overlook those 2 albums. Like I talk to people all the time, in Michael Jackson fan groups or whatever, and they say, "What song is this? What song is this?" And I say, "This song is from the History album. This song is from Invincible." Like it shows that they don't really give attention to that album. And then I found some of the demos on there from those 2 albums, those 2 eras. They're dope as hell. Like, you guys need to like do something for it to fulfill the obligation. Just like y'all did for Thriller 40, y'all just threw on some demos and cleaned it up or whatever. Y'all should do that for Invincible too. Next thing I want to talk about is the Chrisleys, and they're going to jail. They're going to jail for tax fraud, bank fraud, loan fraud. They're going to jail. So, as we know, we love Keeping Up with the Chrisleys. I love the Chrisley Show. I only watch the show with the family, the whole family. I don't watch the spinoffs with Savannah and Chase and the dating show. I don't watch none. I just like the one with the family. And unfortunately, all those shows that they had are canceled. So Todd Chrisley is going to jail for 12 years, and Julie Chrisley is going to jail for 7 years. So they have 4 children. They have, they have 5. So they had the oldest one that got married behind Todd's back and had the little baby. I forgot her name. Lindsay. She had Lindsay. Kyle, I think his name is. Kyle is the son that was on the show for a season. He had his own battles. Unfortunately, he left the show. You had Chase, Savannah, and then they had the little granddaughter they adopted. Her name is Chloe. So now the shows are over. They don't have to turn themselves in until January, so they have time with their families and everything. It's gonna be pretty sad because like they're gonna be separated from their families, but not only that, they're gonna be separated from each other. I don't want to ask this question because I clearly know they love each other, but will they like split up or temporarily or something? I don't know how that'll be done or how do they keep up with each other because when you're in jail, you call people out. You can't call in. So how are they gonna keep up with like are they gonna like have to write letters? Just things like that. I don't know how that's gonna work, but it's sad on them. They gotta give up their homes. They have beautiful houses because when the show first started, they had a bad house in Atlanta and it was big and then they moved to another house in Atlanta and then they was like we're going to go to Nashville. So now it's all have to be given up. And Grayson, I don't know if I mentioned Grayson before, but Grayson and Chloe, they're still under the age of 18. They're in the custody of their big sister Savannah. So she's going to raise them for however long that the mom and dad are going to be gone. So I'm so sorry to hear that, y'all. It's sad. Another major story that has been brought to my attention is the Shaquella, I think that's how you say her name, Shanquella Robinson story. So there's this young lady, she's probably the same age as me, if not a couple years younger. She was 25, she was young, she had I saw on Facebook, she probably had a kid, she had a partner. She traveled to Cabo San Lucas with a group of her friends. And I hear the way people describe it is that friends that she's not very close with. Basically, they all went down to Cabo, and there's a video of her getting viciously beaten by this air quote friend. And she ends up dying due to a spinal injury. And the friend, one of the friend, and I'm gonna every time I say friends regarding to the story, I'm doing an air quote, and I know you guys can't see it, but just know I'm doing it. The friend returns her items to her mother's house and says she died of alcohol poisoning. As I stated before, there is a video out there. The young lady who is doing the fighting and everything, I believe, is being expedited back to Mexico to face these charges. Um, this goes to show that you cannot trust a lot of people. I don't know the full background of how long this young lady was friends with this group. It was a group of people. It was females, males, all that stuff. Um, and it also goes to show myself as well as people in this world that people are evil. And people do have and I'm not saying not all, like, don't look at your longtime friends like you're evil. Like, no, just people you don't know are just are fairly new to your life, just are not to be trusted. And I guess in the situation, she didn't know them like lifelong friends, but she was attacked on the video. The young lady who did the attacking is expedited to um, Mexico to face the charges. This poor woman, she was so beautiful. I've seen pictures of her. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And she had a lot going for herself. I think she was an entrepreneur as well. And it's just an all around sad story. And it makes me speechless that, speechless that people who she considered friends would do that. But um, we'll see how this case drags out. I don't have a lot to say of it, and I'm not trying to be mean about it. It's just it's sad, and I hope whoever or the young lady or whoever involved gets the punishment that they deserve because she was a great woman. I mean, things I've seen. I mean, I've seen pictures of her and her son. I've seen pictures of her and her partner on Facebook. She didn't deserve that. She does not. Her family does not deserve to celebrate the holidays without her, and it's sad. And it's just I hope her family gets justice for this because it's not right. So rest in peace, Miss Robinson, and May your family find comfort in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Um, the next story I do want to cover is the Chris Brown and AMA performance being canceled. People were saying that the performance was canceled because of his background. You know, as we know, back in 2008, 2009, Chris Brown was arrested for beating Rihanna in a domestic violence case. Um, I also heard that they didn't want to put the tribute on because of Michael Jackson's, past allegations and stuff. But you know what? I did some research when I was just doing random research and this automatically hit me. So Michael Jackson passed away in 2009, right? Let's go back to the unreleased, no, the posthumous releases, right? So remember Bad 25. Remember there was another one. There was another documentary. So he had those two documentaries, the one I don't remember and Bad 25. Guess where those were aired? ABC. But this was before leaving Finding Neverland. That falsification of a documentary, which had nothing but false information. So my question is, if ABC owned by Disney, oh wait, ABC is owned by Disney. Didn't Michael Jackson do something for Epcot? Didn't Michael Jackson own some part of Disney or something? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So it's a shame. It's a shame. Also, Chris Brown actually won an award that night, so he didn't come. Guess who accepted the award on his behalf? Kelly Rowland. Now, this is what really made me mad. Kelly went on that stage, she accepted that award. Kelly Rowland, I've watched her since I was a kid. Like, I remember when she was rocking that short Toni Braxton hairstyle in the Destiny's Child video, the first album, all that stuff. As many years as I've seen Kelly Rowland, she's always been classy. She's always been beautiful. So she went up there that night and she accepted the award, and people started booing her, and I was just like, oh, "You guys are booing Kelly Rowland? Like, what's going on here? Like, this isn't right." So she said she gave basically Chris Brown his props. She told him she loved him and said, "I'll get this award to you and God bless you." When she got off that stage, I was so mad that they booed her, but what she did was so classy, and I it just really made me. There are good people in this industry, and I think Kelly Rowland was one of them, and I like that she did that for Chris Brown. And Chris Brown is, I believe, in such a different place mentally. I don't know Chris personally, but from what I see, sometimes he's in a different place, and he probably did put all that behind him. But come on, you guys should not have booed him like that. And also, the next thing I want to go over is the Casey Anthony interview. So it's on Peacock. I don't have Peacock and I don't plan on getting it. I don't plan on watching it. But why the hell are y'all giving this woman a platform? It's very, very clear that she did it. I remember when I was, Casey Anthony was like, what? 2007, 2000. I was in middle school, probably out of school for the summer when this was going down. And I remember I tuned every night into Nancy Grace because I don't know why the hell I was watching Nancy Grace at 14 years old. But every night, starting from when Kaylee Anthony went, that's her name, Kaylee, the little baby, from the night she went missing to the day they announced her verdict, I watched Nancy Grace every night. And the evidence was there. She did it, but the jury and that, I don't know what they were thinking. But in my heart, that woman killed her baby because her trunk smelled bad of decomposition and all that stuff. So why is this woman like doing an interview about her life now? We don't want to hear it. You need to be in prison, Casey Anthony, because you did it, and you know you did it, and you know you guilty, and you know, and your parents went through that hell. I remember when I saw her mother do an interview on TV. I don't remember what channel it was. She looked so stressed out. She looked stressed out, and I think the parents knew she did it. So, Casey Anthony, I think they should pull that shit off Peacock. Like nobody should watch that because she did it. She killed that baby. Golly, my God. Moving on. Tom and Giselle got divorced very quickly, and like I said in a episode or two, it would not be messy, and it wasn't. I didn't hear Tom and Giselle complain about each other. Oh, I need this and I need that. Child support this and child support that. Listen, they split up. They were declared single in a day. And I'm sure there's great co-parenting there because she just bought a house down the street from the man. So it's all gravy between them, and I'm proud of them. Other celebrity couples should take note. Brad and Angelina, because I know y'all still have it out for each other. If you know, you know. Um, Blueface was arrested for attempted murder in Vegas. So I don't know if he's free or not now, but I know that his girlfriend, Chrisan, whatever her name is, she's in a wreck. And she really, really needs to get it together. Someone really needs to talk to her. I've seen pictures of her on Facebook, of old pictures, and I know, like, girl, well, how are you seeing these pictures? I don't know. The people I'm friends with, they somehow follow people who has these pictures and they, share it on the timeline. But Chrisanne was well, it not was, but she is a beautiful girl. I saw that she ran track in college and all that stuff, but she's too busy chasing around this guy. Someone needs to sit down and talk to Chrisanne, whatever her name is, and tell her there's more to life than Blueface, than a face tattooed guy who just doesn't know how to rap on beat. There's more to life than that, lady. So, and I'm not sure if he's out again. If he is, let me know. I'll probably report it. But uh, yeah, it's Blueface. Like I'm 2 years older than Blueface. I just found out he's 25. So it's like, I think those 2 years are very crucial to us. So it's like, maybe I have more sense than he does. So that's why I'm like kind of stumped on what to say about Blueface. Shout out to Dion Cole, Chicago's own. He just released a stand-up special on Netflix called Charlene's Boy. It's very funny. I like it. He talked about, at the end, it really touched me because he talked about how he lost a lot of his family members. He lost his mother, his aunt, his uncle, just all that stuff. But it was a good special. I haven't seen a good Netflix stand-up special in a while because they haven't really been putting them out. So, yeah, but it was good. Also, speaking of comedy shows, I recently went to go see 85 South in Chicago. They came to the Wintrust Arena. Enjoyed myself, enjoyed Carlos, Chico, Nav, DC. There was this first gentleman, I forgot his name, but he was so funny. If you have not seen the 85 South show in person, you should. It's amazing. Wintrust Arena is here in Chicago, and it's a big arena, but it still felt like I was so close to them. I was in the floor, but I was in like the last row of floor seats, but I still felt so close to them, and it was still a good time. Me and my best friend went, and we just had a ball. Also, I do want to talk about my AMP radio show. So, I did have my first show. No one showed up. Oh, because I just did. It was my fault. I didn't do good promotion on it. I hope to do another one soon. So I think I know now to put out that, hey, I'm doing an AMP show tonight. Stop in. I'll play music and all that stuff. So maybe that'll work that way. I'm not sure. Also, Elon Musk is messing up Twitter. He needs to be fired. I don't know how he got Twitter. Like, what did he do? Did he G snatch Twitter? Like, he got on there, he ran the show, and people saying cuss words and the N word. And now I'm seeing tweets from Tony Braxton that, oh, I need to get off um, Twitter because I've never seen such language and blah, blah, blah. So it's safe to say Elon is ruining Twitter because he wants to fire, or no, did he already fire? Because people stopped showing up for work and they quit on him. And then people were saying, RIP Twitter, RIP Twitter. And I'm just Elon needs to go back to Tesla. Because I'm sure he was running Tesla very well, by the way. But then he got over to Twitter and people are now uprooting and all that stuff. Honestly, if something happened to Twitter, I'll cry because I really enjoy Black Twitter. Like, whenever a big event comes together, Black Twitter, we come together, we watch it like a family. And I can't lose that because I worked hard for my spot in Black Twitter, okay? I worked really hard. I've been on Twitter since I was in high school, probably 2011, 2010. I was 15. Yeah, I've had a Twitter since I was 15. I worked really hard for my spot there, okay? Kanye West is tripping and he's losing everything. Like I said on this podcast before, things have to be really, really bad if you lose your bank account. Like, your bank wants nothing to do with you, okay? Like, he's losing more deals. He lost his deal with Adidas. Just tripping, man. Tripping. Kanye, you tripping. You know that? And then now I hear that he was about to be in prison for tax evasion and now he owes millions. He has real estate that's like, he got a house in Malibu that's like half-ass built. He can't live in it and he's really not living nowhere. Like, it's really, and people are saying, oh, this is Kanye's way to get out of the contract. And then there was video of him saying gotcha and all that stuff. Kanye, this was a bad plan and you need more help. Like, this isn't funny anymore. Like, I read a story. He just gonna bombard into Skechers for a meeting. It don't work like that, Kanye. I'm sorry. So I think this brother needs very intense help because these antics that might seem funny to people, it's really not funny to me. And even though, like, I could read TMZ and it says Kanye West barged into Skechers building, like, it's not funny. It's not funny. Next, I want to talk about I want to say rest in peace to our hip hop brother Takeoff. Takeoff passed away the night after Halloween. He was shot. He was at a private party in Houston, Texas. He was in a dice game. Fortunately, a brawl broke out. A gun was involved, and Takeoff was shot and killed. 28 years old, very young, and had his whole life ahead of him. Had a great career, and it's crazy. We're losing our rapper brothers, well, just our brothers, unfortunately. We lost PNB this year. We lost Nipsey a couple of years back. We've lost so many to gun violence, and it is so insane. And it's so insane. And this is why it goes back to every time I hear someone getting shot, I go back to that clip from the 1968 coverage of Robert F. Kennedy's assassination, that we need to do something for these gun laws. And they said that in 1968. And this situation was just unnecessary. And now Migos is now 2 members. Quavo was there when he was shot, and I just cannot imagine what he's going through. The funeral had already happened. What they did was, I guess they had a private funeral, but then they had like this big funeral at a State Farm Arena in Atlanta. The Brat posted a video, and it was raining. It was raining the day of his funeral. And they always say that they have like these weird sayings that, God is crying when someone passes away and all that stuff. It's an act of God, and I do believe that because when my auntie passed away, we were burying her, but it wasn't raining that day. The sun was shining, but it was weird. The sun was shining on me specifically. So we were very close and, things like that. So I think that was a sign of God. May he rest in peace and stop taking our hip hop brothers away. It's too much and we're losing so much. I also want to say, and this one pretty touched me pretty much. I want to say rest in peace to Aaron Carter. If anyone knows, I loved Aaron Carter deeply. I never met Aaron, never met him personally, but I did speak to him on the phone. It was weird. And people keep asking me, how did you do that? So back in the day, we have text now, right? But text now is mostly used for like crazy ass boyfriends who want to text their girlfriends but have them blocked. But text now or say now, it was called say now. Say now was like this certain program that entertainers and famous people, they used it to talk to fans. So they didn't have to use their real phone number. They used this fake number. And I talked to him. He was a really nice guy. And this was like when we really didn't know the drug habit he had. But he was a really nice guy. He let me listen to music and told me he loved his fans. And I was about 16 years old, so probably 2010, like right around the time he was on Dancing with the Stars. So I always will cherish that. And when I heard he passed away, oh, it broke my heart. It also broke my heart because he had a little baby, 1 years old, just turned one. They had a little party for him, and he had his fiance. He had a beautiful house in Lancaster and all that stuff. So, I may he rest in peace. It has not really been determined what made him go to glory, but they did say that they found prescription drugs and cans for huffing. And yeah, rest in peace, Aaron. There was a TikTok. Before I go, I do want to mention this. There was a TikTok I watched. Now, you guys know, if I didn't really say anything, I stopped following Zodiacs and all that stuff because it's just not good for the soul and all that stuff. So I stopped following. If you follow it, good for you. I'm not saying stop following it. But through I was scrolling through TikTok, and there was a lady, I guess she was like a medium or something. She said she met with the Carter family and they kind of reached out to him like in a medium way. And they said he was doing great. Like he was energetic, have creative juice flowing and all this stuff. And when she was saying that, I didn't doubt her, but I just thought about the time that he was on House of Carters. Now, if you guys don't know what House of Carters is, it's a really old show. It came out on E. It was before the Kardashians, probably like a couple years before the Kardashians, and they all lived in a house. Nick, Aaron, BJ, Leslie, Nick, Aaron, BJ, Leslie, and Angel. Angel is Aaron's twin. And I remember Aaron having a whole little studio set up in his room, just, pranking them out. So I think, I mean, I don't know to believe, I don't want to doubt nobody, I don't want to disrespect, but that does kind of sound like him. So they always say, we're the ones in mourning, but where they are, they're doing excellent. So, rest in peace to Aaron. Rest in peace to their sister Leslie. She passed away probably 10 years ago, so they're reunited. And also, rest in peace to Bob Carter, their father. He passed away of a heart attack a couple years ago as well. So, rest in peace to all of them. And I think I'm gonna close up my episode here. I thank y'all so much for listening, and thank you so much for your support. I'm gonna do the last episode of this season, probably post Christmas, New Year's, around that time. So thank y'all again. look out for a lot of new stuff in the new year. And we here and we out. Peace.